41 Yo white male, history of opioid abuse disorder, no major surgeries recently. 12 mg buprenorphine / 3 mg naloxone 1x daily. I'll spare you the gory details. Small cell lung cancer, inoperable, 4 months to live. I've been referred to palliation. I'm a grumpy bastard and my life has been pretty unpleasant in many regards, so I'm actually not that worried about dying. Had to check out sometime, yeah? What I am worried about is pain relief as a long-term buprenorphine patient. Even if I went cold turkey today, which my prescribing physician recommends against, I'd still have somewhat of an opioid tolerance. No. I don't meet with hospice till Friday, so I have some questions. Will hospice be able to meet my needs even though I have a tolerance? I don't want to die in pain and I'm really not in a position to book a euthanasia appointment on the other side of the country. Thank you for your help. Hi everyone. Lung cancer guy again. Bad things are happening. Just got home from the hospital and barely avoided being admitted thanks to a palliative NP rushing over in the middle of the night to admit me into the home hospice program. I am forever grateful to her. I'm meeting the physician today. What kinds of questions should I ask? My current list of questions is, can you manage my pain after years of buprenorphine maintenance? Will someone be available to help me write letters? I'm cut off from my family but want to make amends. Will someone be with me all the time? I don't want to die alone and don't have anyone to call. Will I avoid terminal restlessness and delirium? That is my only fear right now. I don't think I have many more questions. Probably can't respond to many comments and PMs like I did last time. I'll try to post an update before I die. Thank you for your help. Edit. Would also be nice to hear from others who have hospice experience. Edit. Thank you for your kind offers of helping me transcribe letters. I am not feeling strong enough tonight but perhaps tomorrow. Though, if things keep up at the same pace, tomorrow won't be looking too good. I will try to reach out if I can. U/Fruna13, link. This process is always uniquely difficult for everyone, and while we all will go through it at some point, I am sorry that this is where you're at right now. I worked in home hospice for a while. The discussion with your care team should involve your pain levels and management, as well as managing any other uncomfortable symptoms such as shortness of breath or nausea. You should also probably have a chat about your diet needs, especially whether or not you would like a feeding tube if at any point it becomes unsafe for you to eat normally, or if you become uninterested in food. Getting it or not getting it are fine, and the decision is yours to make, but it's best if it's an active decision ahead of time instead of trying to figure it out once it's already a problem. Activity levels should also be talked about, especially in terms of preventing bed sores and excessive atrophy. Depending on your oxygen needs, this may vary a lot. This discussion would probably be where you'd bring up getting some help writing those letters, which may come in the form of a nursing aide, a social worker, a counselor, or even a volunteer. In terms of not being alone, you may want to bring up either a patient sitter, they are a thing, mostly for people who need some help with activities of daily living instead of a nurse to do wound care and medication management, a carer, or a death doula, which is there to help you communicate with your team, make your death what you want it to be, and advocate for your previously made decisions. Most of these people you would have to hire yourself, though some programs do have them included. Another bit that you may want to discuss is end-of-life planning and estate planning. Besides the legal considerations, there may come a point where you're unable to express your wishes or make decisions, and it's always best to have a written document, signed, that can guide your care at that point in time. Your team are probably experts in these matters. This usually includes talking about fluid management, anything you'd like to avoid once you lose consciousness, and any personal requests. It also includes talking about what happens with your body, as well as with your belongings, but that side of things is usually handled by either specialized social work or a lawyer. Keeping a record of your questions to ask your team as they come up is a good idea. A voice recorder, the voice-to-text function on your phone or a notebook if you can still write on your own are all good ways of remembering those things for when you have the chance to ask. Hello all. I hope this update doesn't break any rules, as I suppose I do not have any questions. Mods, let me know. I did not want to just disappear from Reddit. I know a number of you have been thinking about me. I said I would post an update before I passed away and, well, here I am. I know it is fast, but things have been happening fast. I don't mean to flood this sub with my misery. I'm on some heavy-duty medications. I hope this doesn't come off as rambling. This will be my final post. The cancer is all through both sides of my chest and above my collarbone. It's over. I was diagnosed with extensive stage small cell lung cancer and given 4 months to live on the 6th. Well, it seems 2 weeks was a more accurate approximation of my time. I am not long for this world. As for what happened, I wasn't slated to meet my hospice team till yesterday, Friday. I went to the ER on Thursday with chest pain. They took a lot of fluid out of my chest. The ER physician described my imaging as grotesque and immediately asked if I had considered palliation. I said I didn't see hospice till tomorrow. He said if I wanted any chance of dying at home, I needed to see them now, otherwise he'd have to admit me. He won't be getting any awards for bedside manner anytime soon, but I greatly appreciated his candor. Several urgent phone calls later I had a palliative nurse practitioner in my room who went through the screening process and admitted me to their home hospice program. I went home Friday morning with a hospice kit. Met the palliative physician that evening, shortly after I posted my list of questions here. I will not see Christmas, or Thanksgiving, or even next weekend. Every breath is work, each one more work than the last. My team estimates that, at this rate, I will die Tuesday at the absolute latest. Probably sooner. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tonight. My oncologist called to personally apologize for misjudging my remaining time, but I hold him no ill will. Determining the time of death is not an exact science. I know that. I'm arranging to donate my body to science. I want them to do an autopsy and see how it got me so quickly, to help other cancer patients. The oncologist thinks the cancer may have gotten to my heart or the major central blood vessels. I didn't think small cell could move this fast, but my oncologist says we caught it late. My hospice team has been wonderful. I have cross-tapered from buprenorphine, which I discontinued Wednesday, to methadone, with little difficulty. I have a lot of morphine and the option of hydromorphone is on the table as well if needed. I am comfortable and resting at home. The next stop on the train is continuous sedation, and I am very tired, so I probably will not be able to respond to anyone like I did last time. My physician says we can start a midazolam drip as soon as tonight. I will probably take him up on the offer tomorrow, if I'm still alive. I suppose this is a good place to share where my fears around palliation come from. I used to be an aide in a nursing home, many years ago. I saw a number of unpleasant deaths due to insufficient palliation. We had a wonderful man who was prescribed a self-administration pump for morphine. Problem was, he was too sick to press it, and his physician did not seem to grasp the severity of his condition. Every half hour, one of us would sneak in and press the button on his pump, which, in hindsight, was probably illegal, but what else could we do? He was very uncomfortable at the end. I tried to do basic mouth care just before he passed and he recoiled in pain. Have a heart, he whispered. It broke my heart to hear this admonition from such a wonderful man. My greatest fear was terminal restlessness. I saw a few patients scratch their faces and tear their fingernails out as they died, even on high doses of opioids and benzodiazepines. My palliative physician has assured me that he won't let that happen and that there is no limit to what they can give me. I feel much reassured. I have tried to write letters to the people I've wronged. I suddenly find that I want to make amends. So many letters. I was a functioning addict for a long time. My family cut me off, rightfully so. So I have been writing a lot of letters. But I am losing strength. I will not be able to write many more letters. My CNA has transcribed one letter template for everyone. I hope it is enough. I also had many kind offers to transcribe letters from Redditors here on the sub. What love that you would do that for a stranger. If I was strong enough to talk on the phone, I would have taken you all up on it, but I can barely talk. Perhaps, had I not been so stunned by my diagnosis, I could have arranged this sooner. But that is in the past now. Dad, if you somehow see this post, I know how much I hurt you and I am sorry. I wish I could call you. I do not even know where you live and I'm not strong enough to find you. I do not ask for your love, for that is beyond my power to ask. Just your forgiveness is enough. Please, Dad, forgive me. I do not want to die without your forgiveness. But I will, won't I? I beseech you all to make amends with those you begrudge. Do not go to bed angry or hold hate in your heart. You will be glad that you forgave. I wish I had done so sooner, before I ran out of time. You will run out of time, too, someday in the future. Don't leave any business unfinished, any grudge unmended. There a nicotine patch on my arm, a reminder of one of the several self-destructive habits that brought me here. My smoking habit was not had enough to set things off this quickly, but it clearly did not help. For those of you who smoke, I have but one message: stop it. Please. You think you will wait till you are ready. You will never be ready. You say you will quit tomorrow, but then tomorrow becomes today, and you are never ready today, only tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. Today is the only day in which the decision can be made. You can only quit today. Do so now. Throw your cigarettes in the trash. Do it for me. What a gift it would be that my post would free you of tobacco's golden chains. As difficult and shocking as these last few weeks have been, I regard them as positive. Only 4 weeks ago, I thought that the universe was a cold and cruel place. I experienced physical and mental abuse, chronic pain, and addiction, but my situation has forced a change of perspective. I see now that all our experiences, no matter how horrid, are temporary, and that we will all find the same rest and peace in the end. I do not mean to give the wrong impression to those struggling with depression. I have tried to kill myself before. The difference between then and now is vast. Death is an old friend waiting to greet you at the end of a long and well-lived life. It cannot be appreciated properly when sought in darkness. I know there is no magic fix for depression, but I urge you to get up, go out, and live the crazy, wonderful, irrational, beautiful life you want. If only I had done the same. What a gift is life. Thank you all for your love, empathy, and reassurance. For all the people who pinged me offering to help with transcribing letters, for all the kind messages and comments. You are all beautiful people. I hope you remember that, no matter what anyone else says or thinks, or even what you yourself think, you are beautiful and can only be so, because you reached out to a stranger in his moment of pain. Your hearts will always carry that little light of goodness no matter how dark your days. Carry that little light with you and forget it not. It can brighten a stranger's day. It can even save the world. A few pinged me asking to look into their religion. In the past I would have been irritated. Now I recognize that you were concerned for my soul's well-being. Thank you for your compassion. I am not well versed on religion, but I have prayed, and And I trust that whatever higher power may dwell above the stars will look upon my situation with infinite love and compassion. This in my heart I know. /you/huge grape, you wanted to make me a plushie free of charge. Your care and empathy have touched my heart. I'm sorry to say that I will not be in a position to receive it. I did not expect to go this fast. I want you to make it anyway. I want you to keep it with you and know that you will always have a part of me. I hope this brings you some comfort. You have my everlasting love and gratitude. Wishes are usually reserved for the future. I have no future. But I find myself still wishing. I wish I had not worried so much about the little things. I wish I had not worried so much about the numbers in my bank account or the punch of the time clock. All that time working. I had enough money to keep a roof over my head and to invest in what few hobbies I had, yet I still kept racking up over time. And for what? Only to find myself here. It all came to nothing in the end. I robbed myself of the most precious commodity I had, time, in exchange for green pieces of paper and little metal discs. A perverse and twisted trade. Only now do I see the truth. I wish I had had the courage to live my life the way I wanted to. I wish I had traveled the world, fallen in love, written a novel. I wish I had had children. I have no one to whom I can pass my life lessons. No one to sit by my side, here at the end of my world. It is too late for me. But it is not too late for you. Live the life you want, no matter how strange it may seem to others or to society. It is your life and yours alone. Live it well. I'm not sure where I go from here. I have been reading accounts of the afterlife from various cultures, Summerland, Elysium, Tir Na Nog. I've also taken to reading the Tibetan Book of Living and Dying, though it seems I will run out of time before I can finish. What a strange feeling. I personally do not believe consciousness survives death, but I'm open to being pleasantly surprised. And if not, well, who can complain about a siesta that can't be interrupted? Regardless of what awaits me, it is nice to dream. And that is what I will do now. I will dream. I will rest and dream of the peace to come till I dream no more. May you all one day face death with this same wonderful dream. I do not have any friends or family to sit here with me, so I am leaving this tab open. I will read your comments and savor your reassurances, even if I do not reply. I will keep you all here with me. I feel less alone this way. I will keep you all with me as I die. You people are all I have now. I am strong but I am scared. Stay with me till I'm gone. I do not want to be alone. Till we meet again, my beautiful friends. Robert S. Edit. Just woke up from my nap and I'm overwhelmed by the outpouring of love. I'm touched by the people throwing away their cigarettes and finding the courage to pursue the life they want. What a blessing you all are. I am reading every message I can even if I don't respond. Tears streaming down my face. Now I know I will not die alone. What a gift this sub has given me. Edit 2. Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Haven't been awake much but I've read as much as I can. How I cherish your love and kindness. You helped a grumpy drug addict die with love in his heart and a smile on his face. The doc will be here at 3 to give first. I'm tired of trying to breath. Chaplain has given me last rites. It's over now my friends. I love you. Update 1. Good morning. My name is Cherry. I was Robbie's volunteer doula with the hospice program. I am posting here to honor his wishes and providing this message board with an update after his passing. I am not familiar with this app, but Robbie gave me a little tutorial. Please forgive any mistakes. Smile. Robbie had initially wanted to pass while conscious, however, he was having increased difficulty breathing Sunday morning. He received last rites from our chaplain and was sedated with midazolam, at his request, at 3:05 p.m. He remained asleep and appeared comfortable. Agonal respirations were noted by the nurse at 6:14 p.m. and suppressed with morphine. The physician called time of death at 6:27 p.m., Sunday, November 15, 2020. Robbie's passing was peaceful and without pain. Robbie spoke often of the kind messages he received on this board. I know they brought him comfort. His final posting was incredibly poignant and moved even our most seasoned staff to tears. He was a quiet man. I think his voice was his words. It was honored to attend to him in his passing. I was attracted to hospice because not everybody breaks a bone, not everybody has heart disease, but everybody dies. It is an honor to be with others as they undergo this universal journey, and it was a particular honor to attend to Robbie, who had no family or friends by his side. I am providing some images on Imager that Robbie wanted shared with this board, one of him young and healthy, the other a final handwritten note. Please let me know if the link works. I obviously cannot hold onto his phone. Smile. It will be shut off and filed away with his estate, which is being handled by his family, who our social workers were able to locate Sunday evening. They expressed regret at the news of his illness and passing. We are sharing his final posting with them as well. One last thing before I go. First, Robbie expressed many concerns about his Suboxone. As the opiate epidemic continues to ravage our communities, we see more and more patients entering hospice on Suboxone and methadone. I want those of you with opioid maintenance to know that you will never be judged by our staff, and your medications are not a barrier for care. Our organization consults with a pain specialist physician specifically for these cases. We will never let you die in pain. Never. I hope this posting provides some closure for those of you who have been following Robbie's case. These fast cancers are always sad, but Robbie faced his passing with dignity and grace. He was truly a wonderful man, and he lives on in our memories. With regards, Cherry and hi everyone. A few weeks ago, Robert made a post on r/AskDocs looking for answers about palliative care in a hospice setting. I was moved by his resignation, the hopelessness of the situation, and the fact that he was going to die alone. I felt, and still feel, like nobody should have to depart this world feeling so alone and unloved. I'm sure many of you were touched similarly by his posts. I had started sewing plushies to keep my hands and mind busy whilst recovering from a mental health relapse. I offered to make Robert a plushie to remind him that he is loved, and also to give him a little comfort as he passed. Unfortunately, Robert's condition took a turn for the worse, and he was unable to accept my plushie. He told me his favorite animal, and instructed me to make it anyway and treasure it. So, here it is, Robert's blue whale. His legacy will live on at least in this plushie. Sorry if this post breaks the rules. So many of you wanted to see the plushie when it was finished and I didn't know another way to reach out to all of you. R.I.P. Now on to second story. Coworker called me a librarian for my outfit today. Now I'm questioning if my friendliness is seen as flirting. I started a new job this summer around the same time as another coworker, Mac. Our office is one where we're often up and moving between different areas to complete tasks, so there's a fair amount of brief socialization that goes on as paths intersect. Mac and I have started to gravitate to each other often in that context. I had assumed it was because we're some of the only employees in the same particular stage of life, married with kids the same age, similar lifestyles. We even discovered we live in the same neighborhood, just a few streets apart. But Mac said something to me this morning that has me scrutinizing all of our past interactions and unsure how to move forward. He said, "You have this whole sexy librarian thing going on today, and I think it's a problem for me." His statement was made with a bit of a smirk and a raised eyebrow, and it came across like he was making a pass at me. Now I'm looking back at all of our past interactions and wondering if I've been giving the wrong signals. I make no secret of the fact that I'm happily married and I love my husband, but I talk to Mac more than any other coworker. I'm also open, friendly, and quick to smile, but I'm like that with everyone. Even our clientele regularly comment on my upbeat and smiley demeanor, and I am definitely not flirting with any of them. Not on purpose at least. Now I don't know what I'm supposed to do from here. In the moment, I laughed it off and kept moving to where I was going without comment. I did do my hair and makeup a little differently today and wore my oft-neglected glasses, so maybe I won't do that combination of things again. I don't want Mac to think I'm interested in a clandestine office romance, but I don't know how I should act around him going forward. I'm not very good at turning off the happy that apparently reads as flirty. Update 1. I have an update regarding my coworker, Mac, who told me my sexy librarian vibe was a problem for him. Reading your response and all the comments was very illuminating. I had been feeling as if I'd somehow brought it upon myself, but you and the commentariat really opened my eyes to the reality of this being entirely on Mac. I'm a little ashamed to admit I was too chicken to bring it up to Mac directly, but I made a point of avoiding his usual paths and successfully dodged him for 2 weeks straight. Last Friday he came to my workstation and asked if everything was alright, and said, "I feel like you've been avoiding me." Well, I took a deep breath, summoned all the resting bitch face I could muster, and said, "Mac, you implied that your inability to manage your pants feels in the workplace was somehow my fault for looking like a sexy librarian. How exactly would you suggest I handle such gross comments in the future if not with avoidance?" His neck and ears turned bright red and he said something along the lines of, I'm sorry. I didn't. Sorry." Then literally turned heel and fast walked away. I think I was in a state of nervous shock afterwards. My ears were ringing and I felt strangely tingly, but also incredibly proud of myself. First thing Monday morning, Mac came to my workstation again and gave me what seemed to be a sincere apology. He said there was no excuse for his comment, it was out of line and he was being an idiot not thinking of the implications, that it would never happen again, and asked if there was any way he could make it up to me. I thanked him for apologizing and said I don't think this is something that you really make up to someone, but to please truly ensure he never says anything like that again. He reiterated it would absolutely never happen again and asked if I thought I could ever forgive him. I told him that while I accept his apology, it'll take time to move forward and that I don't really know what that will look like and to please give me space and time. Summing it up with it'll be what it'll be, please don't try to force it. He said, "Of course. Again, I'm so sorry," and left my workstation. I think I need some time to process Mac's apology and how I feel about him moving forward. I'm still struggling to reconcile the friend I thought I knew with the lecture that made that comment and now with the seemingly penitent dope I saw today. People are complicated. But I at least feel like I can go back to taking whatever route I want to get from point A to point B and I won't be walking on eggshells worried about potentially running into him. I think we can exchange trivialities and move about without issue now. Thank you so much for your response, and to the commentariat as well. Especially user falling diphthong for the absolute gem of a phrase pants feels which I will love forever, and users Hired Admin, Sarah K, and Awkwardness for their suggestion that I practice responses for when I inevitably had to confront Mac. I don't think I could have managed the response I did without having taken that advice. Update 2. I am a religious reader of Om and love update season. I thought you all might enjoy another update on my situation with Mac. I can't believe it's been over a year. Mac never said anything sexualizing or out of line to me again. We never got back to the kind of easy work friendship we had previously, but things were cordial, and while not necessarily warm, they weren't chilly either. Unfortunately, something eventually came out that likely cements his comments as less innocent than he portrayed them in his apology. He was having an affair and his wife is divorcing him. He's moved out of the neighborhood and no longer works here, which I'm grateful for. This new development definitely made it harder to assume he didn't know exactly what he was doing with his comments. Thanks again for opening my eyes last year, and to all the commenters that helped me find my gumption. I still can't believe I pulled that line with a straight face, and it still feels amazing that I did, and thanks for all the wisdom and entertainment over the years. Can't wait to keep reading more.